one group. Okay, this effect is created. All right, so that's all on that language analysis little introduction. Now looking at the elements of text response and elements of text in general. This is a skill that you will need for the rest of your VCE English, and you will need it in crafting text as well. So you need to make sure you're all across this. Um, Basically, your texts are mostly comprised of, and your essays as well, of evidence. Your structural features, language devices, your quotes, um, these are very necessary, and you need, like I said, to have a vast range of different evidence. This is what will get you the higher marks in this subject in English. Characters are also important. They are your evidence. They are the constructs of the author that they have created and depicted in a certain way in order to comment something through them. Okay, so you need to discuss them as a technique as well. Not Romeo represents something, but the author depicts or portrays Romeo in a certain way in order to do what? That's the way you need to be writing, making it clear that the character isn't an actual alive being and that it is a construct of the author. Make sure you are correctly structuring these sentences. Um, and themes are self-explanatory. You know, find the top 5 to 10 themes in your text that prompt can be based around. Make sure you have arguments and interpretations and quotes and analytical ideas for all of these. Views and values will fetch you the high marks, though. These are your interpretations of the author's messages and opinions that you will need to write about. It shouldn't be just included in the concluding sentence of each paragraph of a text response essay, but it should be somewhere within the body paragraph as well, where you have extended your analysis of evidence even further to link into a views and values message. So aim for body paragraphs to have at least 2 authorial intent messages in each body paragraph to get good marks in English. So I recommend that you make notes on all of this for all of your texts. Find structural features, language devices, note down quotes for them, analyze them, find quotes of characters, analyze them, note them down, have a themes-based quote bank, and have views and values, ideas, and interpretations written down for your text. Now, I mentioned the importance of this before, but you need to look for text-specific structural features. So when you're working with a text of a certain genre, it will have its own genre-specific language devices. You need to be aware of these, be able to find them and analyze them, scatter them. Scatter not just normal quotes in your essays, you know, like dialogue and stuff, but scatter lots and lots of actual language devices and features of a text construction and analyze those as well. So we've got an example there as well that aims to use a lot of meta language. Having a look here, animal imagery is also employed when the nurse sees Medea glaring at them like a bull. So animal imagery is when a human is being assigned animal-like qualities. This could also be called a simile because it employs the word like. So she's being compared to a bull. And we see that successfully incorporates a language device because it's imagery and uses the meta language to make that clear. There's another one. All the animals used to describe her are unpredictably dangerous and aggressive, paralleling Medea's own savage temperament. So parallels, when we draw parallels between two things, we're saying that those two things are very similar. So that in itself is a language device, and the appropriate vocabulary has been used. Now, authorial intent / views and values, it's the same thing, really. It gets the A's. So I've already explained that this is every time you write about the author's message, opinion, all the messages that they're trying to convey. So basically, you're looking for things that they agree with and that they disagree with. What things do they endorse and celebrate and basically say that they're good things? And what things do they um, critique and say are wrong? Or what things are they conflicted about? And that can be anything. That can be in terms of certain values, in terms of the prevailing mood in that society, what the context was when they published the text, in terms of certain personal attributes they examine within their characters. And all of those things are authorial intent. So at least 2 times per body paragraph, and it should be in the concluding sentence of your introduction, your body paragraphs, your conclusion. Each concluding sentence should be an authorial intent message. And the only way to have these is to have heaps of opinions about your set text. Um, Make sure you're also writing about this by using the author's last name paired with an intent verb, what we just looked at, all those verbs that discuss what the author is trying to do, to indicate to your assessor that it is in fact not analysis, simple analysis, but it is authorial intent that you are talking about. So in general, as an example of how you can do this, for instance, let's imagine you took a structural feature such as a metaphor. Your analysis of the metaphor is a discussion of what the metaphor represents, zooming into the language and examining the effect of the language itself and the language device. You choose to discuss this further. You could end it here at analysis, but you've decided that you can relay an authorial intent message by analyzing this metaphor in more detail. So then your authorial intent basically answers the question, what is the author's message in utilizing that metaphor to represent the idea you've just analyzed and presented? Looking at an example, the quote could be a description of the reflections of the Palace de Republic as bent and brown. Your analysis of the actual evidence is the intriguing nature of the description, and you're linking it back to the sociocultural context in your analysis, so the palace history in East Germany. Directly from that, you want to write an authorial intent message of what the author is trying to comment about this socio-cultural context. Okay, so through this, the author is suggesting that even after their demise, the Stasi are still bending facts and fabricating fictions in order to seek control over East Germans. And there we go. That's a authorial intent commentary about the context of this text.